Hi everyone, I hope you have a good weekend. I'm away to go to a cabin in nature, which is well needed because we've got construction work going on outside. It's been going on for like a year and it's doing my head in, to be honest. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some peace and quiet.
Happy spring, everybody, and wake the farm up.
Yeah. Welcome to this fun episode of Wake the Farm Up. We be keeping community coming together, sharing things. Yeah, we've been cutting it and the elves be listening, and we've been connecting and talking, and we've been getting all kinds of vibes coming together for this one. This is a bunch of elves coming together on this one. Bunches. Check the show footnotes, but enjoy the ride. Wake the farm up. You guys ready for this? Wake the farm up.
What the farm?
About it makes me feel a lot better. I feel like just talking about it in general is making me feel better. It has been like 2 years since I have it now. I could definitely tell the story even better than that. Talking to you about it makes me feel a lot better. Talking to you about it makes me feel a lot better. I feel like just talking about it in general is making me feel better than that. Yo, my friend Elf, I had a story that I would like to share with you. Possibly on your podcast if you'd like. If not, and you don't want to like put on your podcast, that's cool. I just really could use somebody to kind of talk about it. It's kind of been weighing on my heart, and I feel like you're a person that would kind of like understand like kind of what I went through. And I also feel like it's a topic that needs spoken about like in the festival scene. And it's kind of like, it's a work-related story. It was about the time that I worked at the time I worked at Lost Lands for cleanup crew called Clean Vibes, and I got fired. So it was like, that's the like story I really want to talk about. I can go in more detail if you want to hear about it. If not, it's cool. I appreciate you. Love you. All right, sit back, get your hot cocoa, get your coffee. No, wait, we're going to drink up on some hot cacao right now. That's where we're at with this vibe. Anyways, it was Lost Lands. I show up at Lost Lands to work for Clean Vibes. Now, I knew it was a store picking up and cleaning up trash, which I'm cool with. I don't mind it. I can pick, and the job description did say, hey, you gotta pick up 50 pounds, and it's gonna be long hours. I was like, okay, I can do that, no problem, Get there, first thing I did, so yeah, we were at the foyer stage. I will mention also, those days, the first, 3 days.
Yeah. We're coming to it, Well.
Nonlinear, liminal, lateral, seminal, sentence, sentient, selective, signaling, coherent, contribute, graceful, gratitude, wildly wondering which path will we take.
What's up,
Happy spring, everybody, and wake the farm up. I just wanted to mention today that back in 2023, when we legalized adult use cannabis in Ohio, in that bill was also a incentive to give back to the communities that have been disproportionately taken advantage of over cannabis laws, and create a Tier 3 license for those people who have been taken advantage of, and give the tax money back to the cities that help support the new bill. None of the money has been given to anyone, and instead some of our elected officials have opted to not do that, erase it all, and try to put people in jail for something that we all voted on making legal. Where's our social equity, folks?
Wake the farm up. I'm recording with Compost. Compost, do you copy?
Copy that.
Yep, this is Elf coming through the frequency, 432 megahertz, and hopefully it doesn't hurt and there's no mega.
I'm fair with that. Loud and clear, sir.
So, would you like some of this bone broth?
No, dude, would I ever?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, you'll have to let me know if you think it tastes salty.
No. Everything that you do is grimy or briny, one would say. But it's all truthful. It's from the bone. It's of a marrow principle. I'm glad this is being recorded by my friend.
Yeah, boiled down for a day and a half would be a good thing, we got some like real information coming through in here. We actually really do love bone broth. But yeah, there's something very comical about like bone broth, so we're exploring this avenue. What? That's not even funny. What?
No, bone broth is funny. Here's the thing. Every time I've gone across bone broth in my life, I've sucked the bone. I've sucked the marrow. I thought to myself, am I sucking too hard? Am I trying too hard on this bone? And then people have told me it's been cracked. It's been marinated. But every once in a while, I just suck on that bone. And that's all I have to say about this. But it is briny, my friend. Hell.
So do you chew on it? Do you chew on the bone a little bit?
On the backside, the little gristle parts?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, don't lead me into temptation.
Do you have
When I'm
do you have any tendencies of like how you like that, like to prepare for that, or how do you like the way it feels?
I like a slow
through?
cook. I mean, I don't want to get too provocateur about this, but a relationship. I mean, you can get a ribeye steak. I mean, it's got it all. It just shows up. It's succulent. It's got it all.
Yeah.
But when you hear that somebody is ceviche, just a slow cooked bone, to the point that you can just suck the marrow out of it.
And talk about Ohio hemp, facts versus fiction. Ohio hemp program has nothing to do with the medical or recreational cannabis industry in Ohio. We are a program that's ran by the Ohio Department of Agriculture, and we do some reporting to the USDA about our site locations.
All right, let's go. Tell us the story, DJ Sundra.
Sit back, get your hot cocoa, get your coffee. No, wait, we're gonna drink up on some hot cacao right now. That's where we're at with this vibe. Anyways, it was Lost Lands. I show up at Lost Lands to work for Clean Vibes. Now, I knew I was in store picking up and cleaning up trash, which I'm cool with. I don't mind it. I can pick, and the job description did say, hey, look, you gotta pick up 50 pounds, and it's gonna be long hours. I was like, okay, I can do that, no problem, Get there. First thing I did to fuck up was, I didn't pick up my credentials, and then they're like, I thought they were somewhere else. No, the credentials are over there, and then I had to leave, and then go back out the venue, and, go get my credentials, which was funny. They weren't, nobody was aggravated by that part. And this is where the story is just beginning, so it gets really juicy. Anyway, so I get there, first day, there's nothing. It was evening time I got there. Next day we go, we're walking around the grounds of Lost Lands, just making sure there's no trash on the ground, just making sure everything looks nice and pristine for everybody to get into the venue and party their hearts out. And so first day wasn't too bad. It was a 12-hour shift. We got one break, I believe. I did take a couple few minute breaks also, probably sitting down. It was super fun, ridiculously hot out, so you gotta drink less water. Nobody had said anything to me that day about my work or anything. So I was okay, first day down. My body was sore, from walking around all day. It was hot. I freaking crashed. Bam. So next day comes around. I have to work the night shifts because that's what I signed up for. I think it was from 7 to 7 or something. I can't remember. It was it was a 12-hour shift. So it was you worked all night while the festival was going. We were done as soon as the festival was done. So that's what the hours were for that day. I can't remember exactly when I started. Probably earlier than actually that. Anyways, the first day also, second day. So now I'm on day 2, and they assigned me to this guy, and he's pretty cool. He wasn't too, as talkative as I was. I was chatting it up with him, and then, he was just showing me the ropes, hey, this is how we change the bags, this is how you put in a new bag, and then when we're done, we put the recycling on one side of the truck, or golf carts, they're golf carts, and then we put it on the other side of the truck, and I was okay, cool. That day also wasn't not too bad, because it wasn't as busy, because it was still a pre-party day, or not as many people was there, something like that, I can't remember. Anyways, so, I mean, he did not say anything to me at this point, that I was being slow, no complaints whatsoever. I do remember, the end of the day, we had to go take, the trash to the trash receptacles. Well, these trash receptacles were, the giant, I'm talking, industrial trash receptacles. They are very tall. The doors were not open. There was no staircase. And, I could throw some of the trash bags, into the trash thing, the smaller ones, but I definitely could not do, a majority of them. Because the majority of them were, over 50 pounds, I know for sure. And there was no way, like, I could throw up over my shoulders that amount of weight. So, like, that was, like, the first thing that probably, like, irritated, like, the guy that I was working with. Also, like, I was slower than probably what he would liked. I could tell, like, by the first day that I could tell he was kind of slightly aggravated by me. You know, so next day we did the same thing again, you know, like, it was worse though. It was, like, really bad because it was really busy this day. And the trash bags, like, no matter how much we were staying on top of them, were getting really full really fast and very heavy. Like, I was having a hard time carrying around these bags. They should have more people working. Like, we were over a very big area, just me and him, like 2 of us, over this really big area. It was like, the forest stage is where we were at.
There's no THCA farmer in Ohio because Ohio is a total THC state with hemp, which means our hemp flower can only test at 0.3 total THC. That includes the acid once it's dropped through decarboxylation. And every Ohio hemp farmer is their own entity, just like any other owned business. We don't get any money from the state. We actually give money to the state, and we have nothing to do with the rec market, nothing to do with the THCA and gas stations, and therefore we should have nothing to do with getting penalized by their program. Peace.
Funny you say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does bring you back to the primitive, right? Like, why do some things get to do this? Some would say, like, badgers or raccoons. I mean, like, they really get the real gumption of it. I mean, when a deer goes down in the woods, obviously, like, everybody gets a play on it. But the guy that gets to suck the marrow at the end, well played.
How's that
pound for pound. Best meal in the fucking forest. So I think humans fantasize about that. You know, I mean, I don't want to go off drift about this, but, like, sometimes, like...
Yeah, they do.
You know,
humans, like, are often found, like, on beaches, strolling along streams and parks, sitting in their backyards in hammocks, and perhaps, you know, or even practicing the violin while contemplating, you know, how much they desire the marrow.
well said. But in the end...
I'm understanding now. We are getting to a good bookend.
No, we're getting to this. I mean, if a brother was in the woods, like, the thought would be, like, back in the day, like, even to get to the marrow, that means, like, either you're on a far hunt, is what I could imagine. Like, you're just desperate. It's like, you really want pound for pound the best thing out of the animal. Right?
Right.
Like, I'm trying to really realize, like, why would we go down to the bone and in the bone? And then I'm thinking about these men that are, and women. I mean, I don't know the tribal situations of, like, who went out. I guess as it got more desperate, like, the whole fucking tribe went, in all sincerity. And if you took down one animal and you brought it back to the tribe, then you boiled it down to its every point. I mean, when they talk about using every point of an animal, obvious.
Imagine the marrow of, like, mastodon, you know, like, you'd probably get some big scoops out of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
And
like,
big knuckle bones and stuff.
At some point, humanity realized that, like, the marrow was the juice. That was, like, the RNA, I guess, of DNA.
Is that when juice bars started?
Yeah, that would have been inconvenient. Be kind, or whatever they're called.
That's fresh grind.
That's like nuts and honey. We're talking about marrow, bro. We're talking about... And honestly, like, and it's an acquired taste. And one would say that because we have a privileged taste, because we've tasted salts and natural sugars. Like, even if you're on the best diet, like, really to eat marrow, like, you got to be set up. I don't know about you. What do you think, El?
I think that, you know, you just...
Like, eating marrow isn't an everyday thing.
I mean, it's just when you got to set yourself up and you get to that spot and you're just like, wow, it's really time to chew on marrow. Sometimes it like calls to you, you know, like you could be like a toucan in the rainforest or something, but you could be anywhere, and then you smell it, you start floating through the canopy, and then you end up at the bones, you know, and there they are. Like when the bones, you know, like people often ask, you know, like, how do you find wild mushrooms in the forest? And it's like they don't get found, they find you.
No, and I
bones
think
will find you.
I mean, when we
Bones
started
will
this
find you.
conversation,
The bones will find you, Compost.
it's true, inevitable. Is that me?
Let's go check out a show now.
Fair enough.
What do you think? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Bone broth.
Well, we'll finish it off.
Bone broth. Bone. Finish it off, right? Yeah. Come on, let's get it. Bone
broth. Bone. Pop.
Bone broth. Yeah.
Pop.
Bone.
I really love you, Al. I appreciate
Really
it.
love you, Compost.
All right, man. So-
Bone broth. Yeah. Bone.
I really love you, Al. I
Really love you, Compost.
All right, man.
Sweater. Sweater, boom, sweater, boom, sweater, boom, sweater, boom. Sweater, what's you want? Or is it sweeter? Is it sweeter? Sweater.
Hey Sally, it's Elf. I just needed to leave you this message.
What's your want? What's your want?
that an index DJ says. Help love. Help out. Help out. Help out.
So yeah, we were at the foyer stage. I will mention also like those days, the first like 3 days. So we're on the next top part, I'm going to be on day 3. So day 1, day 2. I believe day 2, maybe I stopped and sang. Like, yes, I will admit that I was singing to a few people. I think like one of them asked me to sing to them because like people know me. Also, I have that face where like lots of people stop and like talk to me and like ask me stuff, ask me directions, ask me where things are at. And I probably like maybe drag out the conversation a little longer than I should sometimes, but I know for a fact I was moving almost at all times, keeping up, like, you know, keep working, like keep it up, even though I'm doing a 12-hour shift and I'm getting like no breaks. Like I got 1 lunch break, that was all I got. We didn't get any other 15-minute breaks in between or anything, like not that I can remember. And it was grueling, like you're standing the whole time, really heavy trash, like really heavy trash bags sometimes. And so like I know there was probably, other than me, there was definitely a few people who were struggling too, like with carrying some of the bags, but like a majority of the people there, I feel like they were just built for it. Like they were bigger, stronger people and like more physically fit than I am. So day 3 comes around, I'm working with the same guy again. At this point, I was like, I was over it. I was like really done with like the workload. Like it was too much. I was like having a rough time. I was like, it was too physically like taxing on my body. I was in so much pain. Like I was like, oh my God, how can I freaking keep doing this? I had said something to like the guy at the end of the day, like, oh, can I like change positions? Like what can we do? Like there's no way I can throw these trash bags up over this trash receptacle. It's just too much for me. Like you guys said, we're gonna be carrying 50 pounds around, but not like throwing and slinging this trash into the dumpsters. You know, like I said, I do get kind of talkative and probably stop and talk to a few people, sang to a few people. I will say that on my lunch break, I did go and like undress and go backstage to see Zingara, but at this point me and her were already friends. I had like talked to her about it before. She didn't care, and I don't think anybody like found out that I did that, like, or knew that I did that I went backstage to like hang out, and like no artists, like, and a lot of people backstage knew me anyways. Like they were like, yo, DJ Sandra, and I was like, yo, what's up? And I like met I met a couple DJs and just chilled back there, and I only chilled back there for like 15 minutes and then like left and then had to get dressed again and then go back to my shift. So next day they decided to change me with this girl. Well, we'll call her Lisa. I don't remember her name, but we'll call her Lisa. And so we're heading out to start the shift. And I was excited. I was like, okay, they put me with a different girl. Maybe it'll be a little easier. All right. I got today and tomorrow left, and then I'm done. I'm done with doing this. Like, whoo. So I was like, yes. So, like, we're in the golf cart. We're driving, and, like, she stops, and I see Shaq. I was like, oh, my God, Shaq. And I, like, turned to her, and I was like, do you care? I literally said, hey, I'm going to go say hey to Shaq. Like, this is what I said to her. I jumped off the golf cart. She stopped even. Like, there was no traffic or anything, and she stopped. And I was like, okay. Like, and she shook her head, so I thought she was saying yes. And I went over there, and I was, like, trying to get his attention, and he was, like, surrounded by people, and I was like, okay, this isn't happening. Like, I can't even say hi to him. It was maybe a minute or two, 5 tops, that I like stood over there and like, okay, yeah, that was kind of unprofessional of me, but like she could have came and said something to me right away, like, hey, you can't do that, like, let's get going. But she didn't do that at all, by the way. Like, she didn't be like, you can't go over there and say hi to him. Like, she didn't like come up to me when I did it. I hop back on the golf cart, and then she turns around and she's like, we're going back to the office. And I was like, wait, what? And then she like stops the golf cart like backstage, and she's like, stay on the golf cart. And I was like, by this point, I was over it. I was over the whole situation. I was like, I'm not staying on this golf cart. I don't care. Nope. I'm not staying here. So I go walk over to LS Dream.
Oh, snap. Here we grow again, folks. Just kidding. We are in a state licensed CBD hemp house, but that's not what we're here for. I just want to invite everybody out tomorrow for the last class in our home grow workshop series at the Cannabis Museum right outside of Athens, Ohio. You'll see the place and the space. It's tomorrow from 6:30 to 7:30. It's $10. The focus is when to harvest, how to choose the right time, and how to properly dry and cure and store and take your hard efforts and work all the way to the finish line. So hope to see you guys tomorrow.
And I was like, no, like, fasting is not about, like, that I don't abstain from eating. It's that, like, your body has a biochemistry where it really wants to reset itself. So one of the things that I did after fasting the first time, like, 7-10 days, whatever. I was just like a long week. Like I was cleaned out. And one of the things that I started to re-add into my meal immediately, because I was reading about it, was bone broth.
Boom.
And it gave me the energy. It immediately picked me up. So I thought about if I was like under a cave or like following a path.
Boom, 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 bro.
Appreciate you.
Boom.
But I always thought about as a substance, pound for pound, it made me feel really good.
Boom.
Where are we going with this, Al?
We're going to go make some broth.
Last year as security, and I did fine that time too. They didn't fire me. I still work for the security company, actually. Like, I could go do it again, but I probably won't because the hours were even crazier than doing the trash. I did a 12-hour, like a 15-hour, a 16-hour, and then like another 12-hour, and then I think another 12-hour. I was there every day of the festival and worked every single day. Like, I didn't get any day off of the festival, so I was there pre-party till Sunday every day doing 12-hour shifts. Didn't have one single day off, and that was freaking crazy. Like, I had a 15 and a 16-hour shift, like back to back. I was like, what are these freaking people on? It's crazy. I did it. I was so exhausted, and I was like, how? Like, I was in so much pain from standing. Like, oh, and then that one, we really didn't get any breaks, like, at all. They brought us food, but we got no breaks. I know that 100% for sure. They brought us food throughout the day and made sure we stayed hydrated. And I was like, I was standing for 12 hours freaking straight without stopping. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a fucking monster. Like, I'm staying so long. I remember coming back home and freaking, like, just sleeping for 2 days straight is how it felt. So that's where, like, I feel like the scene is like a carnival scene, almost. Like, it has become that. And a lot of people who are working in the back of the house, they started out as carnival workers, and like they don't care. They don't care about the like hours and like the labor laws being broke. They're like, they want that money. They love that money. They love all that money they're gonna make, and they're like pushing their bodies and stuff. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And this is happening at other festivals. I know it's happening at Lost Lands in multiple positions. So yeah, I'm thinking about like maybe doing a little, when I go again, kind of doing a little, reporting situation. And I can tell you other stories of some people who had, they actually got fired from the security job that I was working. There was like 2 people, and I didn't get fired, they just left. They got left, and you're not allowed to come back. So yeah, those. And then I have another story that was even kind of crazier about Asteria. I don't know if you ever heard about Asteria, and it was in Florida, and it was, oh my gosh, it's a long story too, but hope you enjoyed this story. I could probably go in a little more detail. Kind of wish I would have kind of talked about it like right when it happened. The whole trash situation, like working for the trash and getting fired. And then I was like, oh my god, nobody's gonna want me back again, but that's not what happened. Everybody loves me in the scene except for Clean Vibes. They've probably forgotten by now, but oh, it's so funny, bro. Oh, it's not funny. It's serious though. Like the long ass freaking crazy hours that people are pulling doing these positions at events, and then breaking OSHA rules about how much weight you're throwing and over yourself. Gosh, much love. Hope you enjoy my stories.
We're out here waking the farm up, continuing on with our integrated pest management plan. Spraying the low dose Dr. Zymes today, 2 ounces a gallon for maintenance and powdery mildew. But I want to tell everybody, while we're out waking up the farm, and food is legal to grow, so is cannabis in Ohio. And you still have time to grow some if you don't have any right now. Get yourself some clones from somebody. Get yourself some feminized seeds. There's a lot of great growers out there, and sellers of seeds and stuff, and givers of plants. And then don't forget, if you're out doing your IPMs, to get an extended wand, because sometimes things will get 10 feet plus, and then you need that. And then maybe 5, 6, 8, 10 feet round, you might want to reach the other side from the other side, and then, because you're waking the farm up, and then you might, geez willikers. But get out there, get yourself some plants in the ground. If you don't use cannabis, somebody does. Somebody needs it for their medicine. Somebody needs it for their inspiration. Somebody just likes the way it smells. So, cannabis is legal in Ohio. Grow some with your food.
Wake the farm up.
Wake the farm up.
Yeah, so I go walk over to Ellis Dream, and I was like, yo, it's DJ Sundra, and I like sang to him, and he actually recorded this moment, and it's up on his like TikTok, and it like kind of went mid-viral, which is funny, and I like took a picture of him, and I like walked away, and I was like, okay, I better get back to the golf cart before like I get in even more trouble. At this point, I was like, whatever. And then like as I'm walking like back to the golf cart, the two like head dudes like walk up to me like, you can't be taking pictures with the artists, we don't do that, we're gonna take you back to office and cut off your wristband and you're fired. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, at this point I was like, no, okay, I started having meltdown moment. I was like crying. I was like, no, like please don't do this, like I want to work. I was like, I still, and they're like, no, you just seem like you want to party the whole time, like you keep singing to a bunch of people. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, I maybe sung to like 3 times each day, and I kept each time I sang to somebody like really short, and like you gave me no breaks, and I'm doing this hard ass fucking work. And I was really upset at this point. I was like, yeah, you can like stay in the venue, but you can't go back in the festival. And I was like, wait, what? Like, it was so confusing. Like, I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm on a mission. I was like, I'm gonna get a wristband. It's the last day tomorrow. I'll go find a wristband. And that's sure enough what I did. The next day, I went over, I left, and I was like, I could have just, like, potentially, like, fucked myself, but actually not, because I would have still been able to get back to the, like, lot, because I still had my, like, lot thing to show that I had my car back there. So I go over, I walk around to, like, all these campsites, and I found somebody who was like, yeah, our friend left, she can't come back, you can have her wristband. So I enjoyed the last day with a wristband without working, and that's the time I got fired by Clean Vibes for singing and sang Hey to Shack. I feel like that's kind of what they fired me for, but also, like, not keeping up. It was, like, super embarrassing, but I feel like there was a lot of stuff that they were breaking rules with. Like, we should have got more breaks. We were carrying more weight than you should be carrying. We were having to throw trash over our shoulders into this dumpster that were well over 50 pounds. And I will state that, yes, there were people there that could do the job. They were having no problems. But me, I cannot throw 50 pounds over me at all. This is not the first time I have had issues working a festival, but it was the first time I ever got, like, fired from working it. And when I went around and told people that I did, they were like, wait, what? They fired you? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you were doing a good job. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought too. But then they fired me. It's like it's so weird. Like, and yeah, so that's the story. I worked Blosslands and got fired from Clean Vibes, and it was traumatized. I was traumatized by it. And I was like, I'm never doing fucking trash again, like, in my whole life, like, never. But I don't feel that way, like, about summer camp. Like, I worked summer camp doing cleanup crew, and it was so different. It was so easy. It was nothing like that. And even though we had to, like, separate trash to make sure, like, the recycles and stuff were separated, it was so easy. Like, I kept up fine. And they even had me come back a second year. Well, I didn't do trash the second year, but I did green, not like I'm saying green, I'm saying the green. I did general missions, like just checking people's wristbands and like VIP entrances and stuff like that. It was great. Like, different story than the freaking Clean Vibes in Lost Lands. But I've got another one for you about Lost Lands and working security if you want to hear it too. It was kind of the same as the trash, but like just a lot of standing and 12-hour. I did like 2 12-hour shifts. I'm gonna wait till the next clip.
Sorry, I'm a little sick recording this, so I'm going to sound a little nasally, but I wrote this poem today. It's called When in Rome. I got a saying I try to live by. When in Rome, do as the Romans. But the problem is in the festival scene, is these wooks do ketamine. They get the shakes if they don't at least drink a little Listerine. Mushrooms, LSD, maybe some mescaline. And I got a woman looking at me like I'm supposed to have a plan. I want a white picket fence, a real family man. It can be hard to stay on course when I'm hiding in the belly of that horse. It strikes me in the face when I'm sneaking into Troy rather than building a life, finding a wife in my home in Thrace. It strikes me again when her friend offers me the DMT pen. She says I drink too much but will only meet me in bars, when I'd rather be around a fire with you looking at the stars, or doing a puzzle together at home, laying my head in your lap, resting our weary bones. But we'll drive through that festival gate, paper boomers and Adderall to keep my head straight. So she sees my eyes dilated with the rest of the Romans, takes a good hard look to try to picture our home, and finds I don't measure up. Can't see how I could possibly fill her cup with anything but a rum and coke. I find that to be such a joke because I'd rather be in the woods trying to build a farm. Don't get me wrong, the endless party has its charm, but I'd rather be somewhere I can breathe, a place safe and calm that I never want to leave. You never come to me, always me to you, So I'll get in that ship, sail from my comfort zone, and do as the Romans do. But then she looks at me and sees a legionnaire, but only because she never took the time and care to see the real Jason, finding the distinction between a Roman and a Thracian. I don't see how you could dare to judge the way I live my life when you've never taken a breath of Thracian air. Come to my home and sit at my table, then judge if you think my future is stable.
Hey y'all, it's July 15th, Monday morning. Wake the farm up. I know what you're up to. You ought to be waking up the farm. There's a lot going on in the Ohio cannabis industry world. This is my hemp house. These are my getting put outside. This year get big. But Ohio has what we need now a little bit. Oh no, that's going to be big. Now that's going to be big, because I'm big. That's going to be big.
Big.
Pushing 6.5, 7 feet already.
6 foot. Big foot.
Already 7 feet. About to be at the ground.
Sasquatch.
What we got here? What we got here?
Yeti.
I'm going to call this the 6x6, right?
What?
Because it's 6 feet tall and it's 6 feet wide.
I lay among the ground, the webs that I lay, the threads that I play, spinning round and round, this wobby-dobby sound, spinning round and round I'll go, and they'll find my webby flow. I'll pull 'em in with my sound. You can feel it on the ground. You can feel it in the rounds. It's spinning round and round. Now you're caught in my webs. Oh yes, there's such a stringy, sticky sound. It's a web.
wake the farm up.
Winds of the wubby-dubby sound. It's a web.